Many of you might have seen him. He's turned into a social butterfly on Qlik. All things Qlik, he seems to be involved in, and so he is here assisting in this in our day-to-day. For those who aren't aware, I just need to make a public awareness that today is the National Perfect Family Day. And we all know that families come in different shapes and sizes and different makeups, but a perfect family is one that comes together for the concern for one another, that we come together to support one another and are committed to one another. And here at IPC Global, we take that view with Qlik very seriously. We go through in our relationship with Qlik, we consider to be the perfect family. We're excited to be an elite partner with Qlik. And recently at Qlik Connect, we were announced as the Global Partner of the Year, something that we take very humbly but delight in, to have the privilege of being at this level as a firm. With this relationship, we're going to have some fun today. So we're going to talk about some new releases to Qlik Cloud that might be very helpful for you. So as we get started, there's an important thing you guys got to know. So the key word for the day is advanced. So every time you hear the word advanced, pick up your glass, whatever you got in front of you, and take a drink. And we're going to have some fun together as we go about it. So again, the key word today is advanced. Something to keep in mind as we go about the day, we always have fun dealing with our advanced analytics. But as we go along, always practice safely and make sure you don't drink and code. So keep your afternoon in check as you go about it, because bad things can happen if you don't take that seriously. So as we get started, we wanted to talk about our analytics, and our analytics cover a multitude of areas. When we're looking at the advanced analytics journey, we can see that when our organizations mature as we move along on our data journey, we start with a descriptive analytics. This is where we learn about what happened, and this is where we do visualizations, we do reporting, and it tells us the story, again, the history of what happened. This is naturally moved on to the diagnostic phase that we'll go through to talk about why did it happen. So we begin to understand the past events and why they occurred, but if we stop there, we're missing so much of what we need to in our organizations. Because the next step, we need to understand what could happen. And this is what we call predictive analytics. Here we use machine learning and data science to leverage our data to predict future outcomes. But even knowing what might happen doesn't help us fully, but we need to take that final step forward to prescriptive analytics, where we start to see what should we do. This is where we should be striving for and moving forward with our organizations to go through, not only report the past, but more importantly, understand what the future has and to help us to make decisions on a go-forward basis. Today, we're going to look at a few of Qlik's native Qlik Cloud capabilities that you should be able to take your analytics to the next level. For starters, we're going to start talking about a new charting feature that has gained tremendous traction called the layout container. This is a powerful feature, if you're not using it already, that gives us several features. One, it helps us to organize the structure of our applications, enabling us to group sheets and objects in logical groups, even allowing overlapping show and hide. This is a long-awaited feature for all of us who cut our teeth on QlikView. This is something we've been waiting for. Next, it enables us to have responsive, flexible designs. You as the designer can create responsive designs by placing objects in the container where you want them without the need to be tied to the grid like we are in just the generic view of the designer. This will work with our auto size, help us build beautiful applications across our applications and the devices that we use. And finally, the layout container, in conjunction with that conditional show hide, grants us the ability to control the visibility of the objects based on condition. This adds a layer of interactivity with our applications that will help us to be able to drive control and value to our analytics. So that is a huge feature that we're going to be talking about today. But beyond that, we also have the capabilities in the advanced analytics space. From simple use cases to the most complex, Qlik Cloud has the scalability to support our needs. First, we have predictive analytics. Here we can leverage our predictive modeling techniques to forecast trends, make predictions, and gain insights into the future outcomes based on our historical data. This includes techniques like regression analysis, clustering, and time series analysis. Another feature in this advanced analytics space is machine learning integration. Qlik Cloud Advanced Analytics supports integration with machine learning models. This enables us to build models, train models, and deploy models within our Qlik Cloud applications. This will help us gain deeper insights into our data and understand what's going to affecting our organizations. We showcase this on our 4th happy hour, and you can reference our website to go see it or contact IPC Global at any time, any of us, if you have any questions. I think, Danielle, we put a link in there if you can to show them where the website is, and you can go in and see all of our past happy hours. The next level of advanced analytics features around natural language processing. Some advanced analytics features in Qlik Cloud will use this natural language capabilities, allowing us to interact with our data with using natural language queries. If you're considering this, I mean, you're thinking Qlik Insight Advisor. And finally, the next major area, and one of the hottest ones out there, is generative AI. Qlik has built a strong foundation to support our Gen AI needs, leveraging integration with third-party services such as Amazon Bedrock, but also they recently announced Qlik Answers. This is going to be a really key part of the Qlik platform that we're all going to want to see, and I know it's going to be a future happy hour topic in the coming months, hopefully. So as is our custom, we're going to dive in and demonstrate these features. Today, Igor is going to showcase some of the ways the layout container can be used and leveraged within your teams to take your analytics to the next level. Then he will show us briefly how we can integrate data into Amazon Bedrock, obtaining real-time results based on selections without the need to even reload. So Igor, you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Let me just say advanced so I can drink once more. So, share my screen, everyone. And let's see, how some of these work. And I chose for these webinar today this application we developed actually especially for this is a cardiology application, and we'll show some of these interesting capabilities. And I promise you that there will be no coding for 2 reasons. First, we don't need it. Second, I don't want to be caught on like CUI coding under the influence. So if you drink and you code, just don't deploy to production. So Jeff said something about the National Perfect Family Day. And when I think about family, and when I think about advanced stuff family can do, and I know advanced doesn't fit into here, but just want another excuse to drink once more. When I think about family, I think about a life journey, because family is like a lifetime commitment. Like my oldest son, like he'll turn 18 later this year, which is crazy to think about it. And I remember all of the journey. And it's similar here. We'll just walk through briefly like some of the challenges and the things we do during your data journey, since like the very beginning when you're just a baby until you're a mature adult. And we'll start with the very basic thing, which is I see something and I describe what I'm seeing. So I have data to describe the current state. That's what we call it a descriptive analysis or descriptive analytics. It's simple stuff. I'm showing how much of this I have, what is the sum of that, what is the average of that, and how many different states of something I have, like how many different diagnoses I have, how many different customer types I have. So this is a descriptive analytics. And I mean, we all been doing this for a long time. However, there's a few things that were more challenging to do, especially in Qlik Sense, that are now much simpler, like this infographic, for example. This infographic, it's only possible now the way we design it with no coding, because we have this new feature Jeff mentioned called the layout container that can get us to these advanced, cheers, visualizations. So this is one example, and this is my cardiology application. This is actual, just real data from the Framingham Heart Study, and it shows me like a number of patients, the average cholesterol, BMI. You have some different types of charts, and all of those charts they're available for quite some time. But now we have more power to make some more advanced, again, capabilities or functionalities to these charts. Let me drink it also. So this is a layout container, and that allows me to do this infographic design. But also for the existing objects, we have a new advanced styling. And I said advanced again. The name is not advanced, but I had to put the word there. We have this styling. I almost said advanced, but I didn't, or now I did. That allow us, for example, to do this post-this visualization. This is basically KPI objects with a background image. And I'll show by the end of this presentation how we actually can do this. Pretty simple, but in terms of visualization, this is advanced, I had to say it, but in terms of analytics, this is the first stage in your journey. This is
Igor, this is so beautiful when you look at it. You consider it because you're not tied to I'll say it's sort of the clunky, static looking KPI objects, right? Or they're just blocks of numbers, because you can format this any way you want with images or whatever background and layer them, right?
Exactly, absolutely, yeah. So, and you can be very creative, as as you saw, as we saw in your slides. You can be very creative in designing any way you like. But this is still beginning of your journey. I know the current, which is very important. You need to know what's going on with your company. What's the current state? How many orders I have? What is the total amount? How many delays? Whatever you're measuring, we have that. However, in today's market, with this level of competition we have, it will be interesting to know what will happen in the future. And I don't have a DeLorean, but I have Qlik, which is kind of almost the same. So then we advanced. You see what you did? What I did there? So advanced in our journey to what we call predictive analytics or predictive analysis. Now I'm predicting the future. So for this demonstration, I'm focusing on CVD, which is cardiovascular disease. And what I'm trying to do is predict the patients who will develop cardiovascular disease in the next 5 years. So I provided this data to, you guessed it, Qlik AutoML. And then I have this prediction for every single patient, if the patient is predicted to develop cardiovascular disease or not. This again, I'm using an advanced visualization feature, and it's the same I used it before, but it's a different flavor of the layout container. And also, I'm using the new styling capabilities, or I might say the advanced, styling. By the way, I love to present this because I get paid to drink. I'm only here for the booze. Kidding. So let's continue. So look at this. This doesn't look like field selections. They just look like normal text, but you can actually interact with them. I can select, let's just diabetic patients, for example, patients with high cholesterol, for example. So the actual objects I can interact with, but they look nicer. And I have like some transparency in this object, again, with the new styling capabilities, etc. Okay, this is your second stage in your journey.
So Igor, let me jump in here real quick. So basically on the screen, you've used the layout container, you've got your styling and your prediction, and the prediction is actually all built in because you're using Qlik AutoML, which every tenant comes with AutoML included, correct?
That is correct. And it's interesting because when people, and I say this a lot of times, if you see all of my webinars or presentation, you'll probably heard me saying this. If people told you the Qlik is a BI tool, they lie to you. Qlik does BI, but Qlik is much more than that. Qlik is an integration platform. So Qlik has Qlik is not only a data analytics, it's data, period. So which includes machine learning. It's integrated, and I have what I like about it, I have many options to interface my application, my data with AutoML and machine learning. I can do directly in my application. I can do through automations. I can do independently, saving files. I can do even externally to Qlik using REST APIs. There's many possibilities. But at the end of the day, I'm using AutoML. I train the module, and I'm consuming the module to bring predictions to me. AutoML does not return only the prediction. It returns also the probability of that prediction. So that's what I have here in this third column. Like, look at this patient, for example. It's predicted to develop cardiovascular disease, but only 56%. But then I can look down. I have this patient. It's 82%. It's a higher probability. And it's great. That's a second stage. But a lot of companies think, oh, yeah, this is it. Now I have prediction analytics. I'm done. Actually, that's only the second phase. Like, you're kind of a teenager. You think you know the world, but actually you have a huge, like a long future, hopefully, in front of you. If you only have the prediction, what do you do with the prediction? You tell the patient, you're going to have this disease in the future. Good luck, buddy. No, you need to understand why. Because you might look here, oh, it's because the cholesterol, it's because of this. But you don't know why the model made a prediction. What was the reasons behind it? Because the greatest benefits of AutoML, it's not only give you a prediction, it's understanding why. So it learns your data and the relationship, it learns your business at the end of the day. So I need to understand why the model made this prediction. I need transparency. My model cannot be a black box. It's more advanced than that. So then we go through our journey to the diagnostic analytics or diagnostic analysis to understand why something might happen in the future. Why there's a high probability of something happening. So instead of guessing, let's use this capabilities with advanced analytics for a data-driven decision making. So AutoML returns me the prediction, the probability, but also the explanation. So look at this. These are the most important features, the most important factors that influence the prediction of cardiovascular disease based on this model that I trained. First is number of hospitalization a patient had with any cardiology disease related. And then the age is third, and then so sex is not top 3, but at least in the top 5, and so on. Great. This is great. It's a great information to have. But again, it doesn't tell the whole story. Let's look at the top 1, for example, hospitalizations. Does that increase the chance of developing the disease? Because, yeah, you've been hospitalized a lot means you have some heart condition, or does it decrease because you've been taken care of, so you have a better outcome? I don't know. So, and a lot of our competitors, other machine learning tools, that's all they give you. They stop right there. But we continue because Qlik AutoML also gives you that information row by row, either patient by patient, customer by customer, machine by machine. So let's see another example here. So let's say we're not talking about healthcare data. Let's talk about customer churn. There's a high probability of losing a customer, and then you understand why, and that's the top reasons. But each customer is different. Some customer is because of the price, because of the product quality, and some other reasons. So then you can drill down, because it gives you row by row. You can drill down any way you like and analyze any customer you like and be laser focused on that specific problem. And then you can have this, and I'll just drop the word here, this advanced analytics helping you making decisions. But advanced analytics is not only AutoML. So look at this table. This table, it's not that. This table is just a regular table that shows me how many patients are predicted to develop that disease based on their gender, male, female. Look at men. There are almost 58% of the people who will develop the disease are men, against 42% who are women. So can I say that men are more likely to develop that disease than women? Well, hold on. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my sample. Maybe just this. We need to verify if this difference is big enough so us to make that bold statement. So let's bring science to the table to help us. So then we did a hypothesis testing, and then we need to find if the difference is significant. Turns out we did not. It's not significant. So actually, no, there's a difference, but it's not significant enough, so we cannot make that statement. Interesting. Um, Interesting also that all this hypothesis testing was done using standard Qlik functionalities. Nothing fancy. I didn't have to connect to any other sources, pay extra fees, just like I would do with other solutions that are microservice price designed.
So what
So,
objects did you use to make that happen, Igor?
so this is the new text object. So it's another new visualization feature Qlik provide, which Qlik, like, they're on fire. Like every week there's something new going on. So this is one of my favorites, because this new text object is just a text object, but it's so much powerful. Like even this color code in here, now it's condition. I can make it condition based on the criteria. Like if I reject null hypothesis, I'll make this green. If not, I'll make this red. That's how it happened. With the old text object, I couldn't do that. So that's another interesting feature. So just regular functions. You go help.qlik.com, you get all of the documentation about it. So let's say advanced for no reason other than drinking. Now, that's the third stage of your data journey. And you might think, okay, now I'm done. You almost there, buddy. We need one more thing. Now I know that for one patient, hospitalization decrease the chances, which is the dots in red. From some others, increase the chances of developing the disease, which are dots in blue, and so on. But what do I do with that information? How do I help that use the information to help my patient, health? And I'm using healthcare here, but it could be something else. Let's say I'm predicting when a machine will break in manufacturing, or predicting something supply chain related, or customer churn, or if a sales lead will actually be turned into a business, will be a win at the end. So any business question you might ask, you might have the main reasons, but now what should I do? Or let me understand this better. So it's interesting to now understand, what do I do with this information? And of course, you need human intelligence, you need expertise, you need, bring field experts to work with you. But why not, instead of just using human intelligence, which is great most of the time, but also turn, its bias, a few problems. Why not also bring artificial intelligence to the table? And then we can have hybrid intelligence, and we can work with collaboration. So then we go to the next step, which is the prescriptive analytics. Now we have an example here. And again, this is another layout container with all of the styling, advanced styling options. I'm almost done my second beer. This is going too fast. So if I said too many advanced, one more. All right, so these are just a layout container. And I wanted to provide some context, and using AI and interface with AI. No coding, as I said, and no reloading application needed, anything like that. So I place an object here because I want to get insights from AI based on a context. So I want the users to provide a context. So in other words, to make selections. So I place an object here saying the AI assistant is disabled. This is a text object that is in place on top of my AI object. And it's only, and I'm controlling the visibility. You show this if there's no selection, and you hide this if there is selection, and then you show the AI, which I'll show you in a minute, the AI assistant object. So let's start making selections. Let's get like diabetic patients who are predicted to develop a cardiovascular disease, who are smokers. These three are fine. So we got like 44 patients in that condition. And I'm providing a question. For the patients selected, give ways to avoid heart problems and cardiovascular disease. So now what's going on is I'm sending my question and my data to AI. And this is the AWS Bedrock interface, which is pretty smooth to do it. And then it gave me, like, for example, quit smoking, which makes sense, lower the cholesterol through medication, etc. So, and I can continue. I can add another question and it can have a conversation, just like you have with ChatGPT, but inside Qlik. By the way, Qlik Answers will not replace this functionality. It's something else. It's for unstructured data. It's something else. So this is, you still need use things like this.
So Igor, this is kind of like Chat GPT built into Qlik, and you're not reloading ever.
I'm not reloading the application. And also, if I keep making selections, let's say I will select overweight and obese patients, I remove smokers, and I'll see what will happen with people with, well, let's focus on low and normal cholesterol. Well, we usually not the main target of this condition. It's recalculating automatically based on my new selection, and then we'll provide a different answer. So just like you have your parents, your friends, your family with you through your life journey from childhood to adulthood and beyond, through your data journey, every single step of the way, from descriptive to prescriptive, you have Qlik platform that can provide you tools, all of these steps. Okay. Now, how do we do it? Let me duplicate this and let me show you a little bit. This is just a regular Qlik UI design. I have here 3 layout containers. I have these 2 layout containers. They are empty. They just here for the beauty of it, to create this effect of an infographic. And I have the middle one with a background image and then objects on top of it. And if you look at the objects, these are all of the objects I have, and I label them in a way that is easy to find. So let's take a look at this average cholesterol. What is that? Average cholesterol. It's a KPI, and I can control here the visibility, the size, the position. If I go to the properties, I'm in the KPI properties. So that's, if you've done any Qlik development before, this is basically a KPI object. Go back there. And now I have this post-it image here. It's basically, I went to presentation, this new styling, advanced styling. I'll have to drink the last one. If I go there, then I have the option of background. Oh, that's a filter pane. That's the wrong one. I want the KPI. That's the KPI. Styling. So you see that I added a background image, and then the KPI was placed automatically on top of it. Any adjust to different resolution is pretty cool. Now, where do I find this? Do I need to install anything? So the layout container, actually, no. You go to your list of objects. It's not in the main list of charts. So you need to go to custom objects, and it is in Qlik dashboard button, and you find the layout container. You just drag it, and you see something like this. If you don't find it, just go here and search for layout container, and you find it. And then once you go to the layout container, you just need to click add content, and you can add items that are in your master item, or simply any kind of object. Let's say I want to add, let's say, a line chart. You go here, add a line chart, and you add a line chart, and then you configure the line chart, and that's it. It's actually pretty simple. Then you replace it, you can move it, etc. Okay, so that's what I had prepared. I hope you like this show of advanced analytics and advanced, I said it twice, visualizations. Kurt, take us home.
All right. Thanks, Igor. All right, let me share my screen. Can we see it? No, I got a thumbs up. All right. So we've been talking about advanced analytics and all you can do. We showed some of the abilities to do with layout containers to make dashboards and information gathering more visually exciting. Something I was thinking about the other day and last minute kind of included was there's a stat out there about how often you should update and refresh your website. And if you're a marketing person, it's even more often. They say every 2 to 3 years, but you should be adding and updating and adjusting content on a regular basis to keep it interactive for people. And I thought, how often do we do that with our dashboards? Rarely, right? We throw up a dashboard and it's good forever. But with some of these new layout container options, there is a way to make it more visually appealing. And what might that do to catch someone's eye, to make them investigate something more? So that's one of the great features of doing that. So we also talked a little bit about AutoML. And we talked about it in a couple contexts, right? But I wanted to throw this screen up there because I think it's great. It is not just around healthcare, and I think we talked about churn and certain things too. There are a lot of different use cases for AutoML, and it does not have to be the high level, just the data science piece too, right? We always view AutoML at Qlik as like, hey, we have data scientists out there that are doing great in-depth things. Right? What is some of the lower hanging fruit that we might be able to tackle with an AutoML tool that automates the ML stuff to capture those things and have a quick return on what you want, instead of waiting for putting your request in queue and then waiting for your data science team to get to it. So we've also been hitting on advanced analytics over and over and over again, and I've been working on stuff internally at Qlik that shows these pillars all the time. There you go, advanced. So as stated, most people have these first two pillars completed, right? What happened and why did it happen? If you were a Qlik customer using Qlik Analytics and you do not have these two things figured out, then we should talk a little bit more, because these are the pillars to make sure that you are successful with what you have. But right now, what we're seeing in the industry and kind of as we're pushing into data is pillars 3 and 4, what could happen next and what actions should you take around the predictive and the prescriptive, are being talked about and are on the roadmap. And this is where I'm going to get blunt. If pillars 3 and 4 right here in the shaded green are not being worked on, are not being talked about, and are not on your organization's roadmap, here's the bad news. Your competition has them on their roadmap. They are actively pursuing not just what happened and why it happened, but how to predict what is going to happen based off of that historical data, to take action on that, to be ahead of the curve and do whatever those things look like. If it's to reduce churn, if it's to do this, if it's to deal with an out of stock issue and kick off certain things. There's so much that can be done. So this part is moving even faster because of AI. And the snapshot again around AI is like, by harnessing this power of AI, you can gain a competitive edge to drive innovation and achieve better outcomes in various domains and industries. This AI analytics can bring significant impact to your organization without requiring investment in extra data science resources or teams. And it's becoming fast. We just saw that you can ask questions and all that. And if I'm sharing just my opinion, I think we're going to see more and more people start using ChatGPT functions to get their quick answers of their data than to select and comb through different things. So the question is, are you ready and are you prepared for that? My last slide. Really, this is a quick snapshot of kind of how Qlik is viewing a little bit of our end-to-end without a whole lot of detail. We're really in the middle with what we've been talking about. Right. But we can pull from any data source. Qlik alone can do this, let alone all of our data integration capabilities and the adding of Talend, right? We can collect it and prepare it, right? We can even run quality on it. But what we've been focused on is sitting in here. Already, you should be able to do data explorations with Qlik. You should be able to visualize and do dashboards. And there's been natural language processing involved in Qlik. But some of the, oops, I bumped a button. But some of the newer features with the machine learning, AutoML, predictive analytics, and prescriptive are then leading you to these insights to take action on, pushing the recommended actions, and then automating decisions. So I'll tell you a quick story. I was with a customer several weeks ago. I was on site, and we showed them a demo of out of stock. They're a retailer. And we proposed, and they were like, wait, you can really do this? Is predictive analytics was showing that they were going to be out of stock of these specific things, and then was also telling them, here are the places where this stock isn't selling as well, and there's a bit of overstock. And with automations, how you could trigger emails and kickbacks to the ERP system to start the overstock transfer to an out-of-stock location, even bringing in geo-analytics to see what stores are closest with overstock so that you're not shipping it across the country, to generate these things, to make it happen, and to kick off emails to both store managers on what their role is going to be in that process. That is included in Qlik Cloud now. This isn't just like, future state DeLorean type stuff, right? It is right here now. If you're involved in Qlik Cloud, and IPC Qlik are here to help you do more of that and truly become a data-driven business that's on the leading edge. So if you have more questions, you could talk to myself, find me on LinkedIn. You could talk to anyone at IPC, your specific Qlik account rep, whoever it is. So as we're wrapping this thing up, I want to say thank you for attending this advanced analytics webinar, right? Drink. And we're going to open it up for questions. If you need to go because of timing, we totally understand, but we're going to kind of open it up for questions and answers here. Would love to kind of know what you guys are thinking, any questions, or even maybe where you are on your kind of roadmap, what you guys are pressing into, because I love getting people in a room and talking about it because we learn from each other that way. So I'll stop sharing and we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, so we start this off. I'm going to go through, and there was a question that came in right at the end there. Again, you hit on it though, but in Qlik Cloud, the AutoML, the geoanalytics, the reporting services, which we talked about last month, the automations that you define, their layout container, that all comes in when you buy a tenant. You have it. So if you're not using it, you're wasting your money because it comes included. So it's features that we should be looking at. And Igor, I don't know if you looked at the chat, but I know that actually Brian's probably gone now. He talked about the data coming into AutoML being the universe or just the data you're looking at. I don't know. Did you see that question?
No, but I can do it right now.
Very good. I guess while he's looking at that, any other questions from the field?
I just want to make an observation to everybody that a lot of times you'll hear that, well, I got to wait till I get quality data to do this. I would argue because you are ready and willing to publish data already in your applications, your Qlik applications, you have high quality data. The question is, could you put predictive or prescriptive capabilities onto an application that you already have? And I would, not all of them, but some of them. So I would take a look back and go, that might be interesting, and provide this advanced capability to that.
Nice. And while we're waiting, go ahead, Igor.
Yeah, I read that. So about the data that we provide to AutoML. By the way, Mark Costa and Mark Costa in the call, and we did like a meetup event 2 days ago about data preparation for machine learning, AutoML specifically. And so the data needs to be in the Qlik Cloud. So you just need to be part of, which is actually good for security reasons. So very good. It's a less concern we have in terms of security. But you just need to include that step into your data pipeline, because data for machine learning, there's a few like specific things we need to consider. You just need to land it in the cloud.
I was gonna add. I had a conversation with another customer a few weeks ago, and the AI is the word, and part of it bothers me. But he was talking about the company is looking, various people within the company are looking at different AI things, and he drew this really great graph that I don't have recreated yet. But it was basically like, with Qlik, we have already gathered the data, we've verified the data, we've built a data model that we agree with. All of this stuff is there, and we know it's good. So now you guys are bringing in more AI that we already have it 3/4 of the way there. Now we need to do some tweaking to get it ready. But there are other people looking at AI tools within the company where we don't have any of that prepared and ready. So it's going to be starting from scratch to get all that done. And we're looking at a 6 to 8 month process once we decide on a tool, versus taking advantage of all the hard work and the years of work we've already done in Qlik to get it there. And if we do this, to actually have it probably ready in 6 to 8 weeks instead of 6 to 8 months. And I was like, he got it. And I'm like, that's the power of what you have. Even if you're not on Qlik Cloud right now, that data's there. The movement to Qlik Cloud is not that cumbersome. I think we talked about that in another webinar. There's options for that. And even if you're not ready to do it with all of your data yet, you could start with something, and anything new you create that you're looking at for AI, you could start in the cloud and start to get it ready for that, because the data has already been crafted, curated, optimized, and ready to go. Yeah, I always feel good when I talk and Igor and Mark are nodding. I was like, oh, I'm smart too. All right, great.
So point, which is our customers have all managed beautifully structured data with Qlik. One of the subtleties of what you guys just saw was this. You just saw the intersection of structured, male, female, smoker, age, whatever, structured with unstructured question to the OpenAI platform. You saw that convergence. And I would argue that's one of the beautiful, dare I say, layups that you guys have the ability to do right now, is to take what you've done and extend it with AutoML, but also with chat-like capabilities. There's a capability coming out, as you may briefly heard of in the beginning of this presentation, whereby Qlik Answers is its generative AI platform that, again, structured and unstructured are coming together. And Qlik is probably the only one out of the box that has that capability for us right now. And so I guess I'd encourage everybody to take a look at their HR, financials, supply chain, or otherwise, and go, could I predict something? And then could I begin making it a conversational like technology? And the answer is yes with Qlik.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. I agree. I'd like to add one thing. So I've seen some companies, sometimes they come to us and say, well, I'm not ready to use this like prediction data yet, but I have these very important business questions. So I said, okay, that's fine if you're not ready to use as a prediction, but the fact you get a prediction gets you for free the explanation. So that at least give you, like, if you get like the explanation transparency that shows like the top features row by row, helps you to understand what drives a certain outcome. I have a couple of questions that I see in the chat here about what objects were used for the fancy numbers. There were just KPI objects with background images. Do they scale? Yes. Did they scale? So if you change screen resolution, screen size, they scale automatically. Depending on how complex your infographic is, you need just to take care, because it might disalign depending on the complexity. But there are, once you get, a little bit of experience on that, and it's easy to accomplish. Keep the questions coming.
There was one in the very beginning that asked about logistic regression capabilities.
Interesting. So AutoML, one of the, for classification and for regression, so one of the algorithms AutoML has in the bag of tricks is logistic regression. So it is one of the algorithms included in AutoML. Then we have a question now: do you need glossary inputs? Qlik Cloud to make it work? Not yet. So the glossary, it's basically a dictionary of terms. Were not included as part of, like, as an enhanced capability to any of the language capabilities. However, I don't know if it will be in the roadmap or not. But however, we have like a little committee, like language capabilities committee, and they submitted that as an idea for a feature in the future.
I will say I've seen Dalton Ruhr run some stuff where he's using some I'm going to date myself, hip language in some of the demos he's running, where it says something like, what is the question? It's about beer. It's a beer demo that he runs, but why is beer from this area sus, meaning suspect and all that stuff? And it defines what sus means and then answers the question. So there's some really cool capabilities that it's picking up on kind of natural hip people, young kid jargon that I'm still learning. Here's one for you. Did you know that glizzy means hot dog? My 13-year-old busted that out on me the other day, and I was like, I don't understand.
So, Kurt, we know that you use Just for Men to cover your grades, so we all know the truth.
I found the Just for Women actually works better. So.
Oh!
This has gone off rails because nobody's asking any questions.
Well, Igor said advanced too many times.
Oh, yeah. I know. I'm sorry.
Any other questions?
I will add like the teaser, which we've said a few times, but I'll tease it again. We're already been talking. The next webinar that we're all doing is we are going to dig into Qlik Answers. General availability is coming for that at the end of the month, is what they're saying. I think at Qlik Connect they announced mid-month. That got pushed because what company releases two huge things at the exact same day? Apple, but that's not us. So it got pushed back a little bit because there were things that needed to be tweaked to make sure it worked right. So that is coming. So part of us is waiting on that to be generally available, and then the plan is to do a Qlik Answers demo and really dig into that. So.
Yeah, I can, little spoiler, I can say that I've been working a little bit with Dalton to test a few scenarios. It blew my mind. And I've seen, like, I work with this, I've seen like this generative AI every single day, and it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty neat. And Matt suggested, hey Matt, too, Qlik CLI is a potentially fun topic too, which it is.
Okay.
Some of the folks on the call did not join your meetup. How do we get hooked up with your in-person or online meetups, Igor?
So there is, I can place in the chat bot here. Qlik has an official, not the chat bot, I'm drunk, sorry, in the chat. Qlik has an official list of meetups, so you can join any meetup, and we will just follow us, follow IPC, follow us on LinkedIn. We'll place, it was recorded, we'll make it available online so you can all watch it. It's longer than this. It was like 2 hours long, but we cover the topic like different than it is usually covered, because we went before our ML, like how you prepare data, and we have some very interesting discussions. So, but in terms of joining a meetup, I just placed the link in the chat. Go there, find the meetup. There are 36 groups worldwide. Find the closest to you. Even there's none in your city, there's a lot of online events. So find the closest to you and register. It's free.
Nice, thank you. And one more thing, guys, we just went to Qlik Connect this year, and I have not had this much fun at a Qlik Connect in a long, we've been doing it for 25 years, and it was a gas. So you guys that are responsible for budgets on the line, next May, they're also doing it in Orlando. I told the guys I was not going to ride a roller coaster. I rode a bunch of times. It was super fun. On the evening that they rented out, wherever we went to,
Universal.
Universal, thank you.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, budget for that next year, but it'll be next year in May in Orlando. So
there you go. Also exclusive, because I'm on the call, is instead of the last couple of years, we've done the Qlik World Tour. They're revamping that this fall, but stay tuned. There's a different kind of tour that's going to come out and take place in a couple different cities in America and across the globe. So more to come, and I can tell you there is going to be a fun video announcement about that as well. So on social. Are
you dressing up as a dinosaur again, or
not a dinosaur, but I am making the announcement.
All right, you're my favorite actor now, man.
You might have there might be AI Kurt too. So get ready.
Hologram Kurt. Nice.
I thought you were just going to evolve from what dinosaurs were into like a giant chicken costume or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll put that on the back.
Great idea.
And then Jeff can raise you.
That's good. That's good.
Ooh, I like what Matt said. AI Lincoln.
Lincoln.
It's great.
All right. Love it. Cool. I think we're wrapping. Or we're just going to keep making weird jokes. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, for next one, it'll be closer to Halloween. We could just have everyone dress up in fun costumes.
Oh, all right.
All right. I like that. There's a plan.
Let's do it.
Wait. So that would be fun to like I do my wrap up in the dinosaur costume. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to see, hear, and or get anything accomplished, but it would be funny looking.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have another big inflatable one too. So cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for attending. As always, Qlik's here to help. IPC is here to help. We appreciate you all. Feel free to hit us up with questions afterwards. Hope you enjoyed the beverages and the conversation. Have a great rest of your afternoon and evening.
Bye all.
Bye all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank
you.
Bye.